Welcome to the Dugout. I'm your host, Joseph Silva. On today's episode, Ohtani makes history yet again. We take you through the life of the Baltimore Orioles in the past week. And more importantly, things are getting interesting in the American League Central, and it's quickly become the division to watch. But before we get started, if you're enjoying the content, go ahead and leave a like, subscribe to Playbook Sports. Like I said, the AL Central is tight, the NL West is tight, the wild card races are tight. I wouldn't want to miss an episode of this show because we're going to keep you up to date on this playoff race going into the final month of the year. Now, speaking of the playoff race, we're looking at Orioles and Astros. They played a 4-game series last week, and in Game 1, the Astros were not playing around. They dominated Baltimore. They won this one 6-0. Corbin Burns went 5 2/3, 8 hits, 6 runs, 5 of them earned, 2 walks, 5 strikeouts. He has not been good since the All-Star break. He is neck and neck with Skubal in that Cy Young discussion. He has fallen quicker than Dogecoin at this point in that race. Since the All-Star break, he's gone 40 2/3 innings pitched, 5.75 ERA, 1.38 WHIP, 7.97 Ks per 9, way down since his Cy Young winning season, 3.22 walks per 9. His stuff plus is down, his velocity is down. He's getting a lot of ground balls still, which is great, but he's not striking dudes out at the rate you were expecting when you traded for Corbin Burns. He's not going deep into games like he was last year. Overall, he's just tired. He looks gassed out there, quite frankly, and it's really affecting him, but we'll talk about that more in our next Orioles series. But offensive standouts for Baltimore, I try and find a silver lining, like even in the worst games. This one, I just wrote none, because they only had 3 hits as a team. Like, Adley Rutschman got a hit. Cool. What did you do for me offensively? No offensive standouts for them. But the Astros, Spencer Arrighetti, man, he has been phenomenal as of recent. 6 innings pitched, 3 hits, no earned a walk, 6 strikeouts. And we're not talking about his last start, or start after this, but against the Phillies. He took a no-hitter into the 8th inning against a very good Phillies lineup. Overall, Arrighetti has figured things out, and he's really anchoring this rotation, too, that really isn't bad, but needs a lot of guys, and Arrighetti is one of them. Offensively, Ben Gamble, of all people, had a great game. He was 2 for 3 with a walk, a run scored, 2 driven in. Fantastic stuff for him. And overall, the team was just dominant with runners in scoring position, 5 for 9. Beautiful stuff from Houston. But the Orioles punched back in Game 2. They won that one 7-5. Cade Povich just did not have it, though. He only went 5 innings, 8 hits, 5 earned, 2 walks, 3 strikeouts. Overall, good from him, but you gotta get that run prevention down. The bullpen is shaky, especially towards that back end. You gotta eat innings so your big arms could come into play. Sir Anthony Dominguez has taken over the closer role and closing this one out. He went an inning, no hits, no earned, no walks, no strikeouts. Exactly what you want to see from him as he takes over this closer role. Colton Cowser was 2 for 4 with a home run in this one, 2 runs scored. And Anthony Santander, same thing, 2 for 4, solo home run. Or go-ahead home run, go-ahead grand slam, I should say, and 2 runs scored. Just beautiful from him. Clutch hit in the 8th. Hunter Brown was great for Houston. He went 6 innings pitched, 3 hits, 2 runs, 1 of them earned, 2 walks, 6 strikeouts. He's starting to find that Hunter Brown last year that really looked to win an AL Rookie of the Year. Great from him. Brian Abreu, he's part of that big 3-headed monster they supposedly have in that bullpen. It's him, Presley, and Hader. Yeah, he got blown up in his outing. He went a third of an inning, 5 hits, 5 earned, and again, that go-ahead grand slam to Santander. Not the best from him. His ERA ballooned after this one, but still a great season from him overall, just a bad outing. Jose Altuve was 2 for 4 with a 2-run home run, and Jeremy Pena continues to find that postseason Pena form as he was 2 for 5, a home run, 2 driven in. Good from him overall. And in Game 3, the Orioles won another squeaker. 3-2, Albert Suarez's scoreless streak ended, but he went 5 2/3 with 4 hits, 2 earned, 2 walked, 3 strikeouts. Not the best from him, but this Houston lineup has just been a tough one to get through, so you'll take it overall. And again, Sir Anthony Dominguez, solid inning of closing. No hits, no earned, no walks, and a strikeout. Love to see him potentially lock down this closer role and make the 9th inning less heart attack inducing for this Orioles team. Adley Rutschman finally had a good game. He was 2 for 3 with a walk and a double. And Jackson Holliday had the big hit in this one. A pinch hit 3-run double to clear the bases. That ultimately ended up being the difference. For the Astros, Framber Valdez was good, not great, kind of struggling this year, but he went 5 2/3, 6 hits, 3 earned, a walk, 8 strikeouts. Again, the strikeout stuff is there, but run prevention. I get this is a tough Orioles lineup, but you are basically the ace of the staff at this point with Verlander's health being so inconsistent. You get paid to shut down these lineups. You got to shut down these lineups. Jose Altuve, for the second day in a row, had a solo home run. He was 1 for 3 with that home run and a walk. And again, Jeremy Pena 1 for 4 with a solo home run. But in the finale, the Astros made sure to even up the series. They won this one 6-3. Dean Kramer had the best start of Baltimore in this series. He went 6 innings pitched, 7 hits, 3 earned, 2 walks, 5 strikeouts. Ultimately, Dean Kramer is fine. Nothing too spectacular, but this is a rotation that badly needs innings and quality at that. A quality start is always going to play no matter what. And Ramon Urias had the lone offensive, or drove in the lone runs with his 3-run home run. He was 1 for 3. Newly acquired Yusei Kikuchi went for the Astros. He went 5 2/3, 2 hits, 3 earned, 3 walks, 4 strikeouts. Erratic command, but dominant overall. If he pitches like this, it kind of eases the sting of trading a top 5 prospect for a rental. But again, you trade a top 5 prospect for a rental. You don't want erratic command. You want dominance. And this was dominant for the most part. Alex Bregman, we finally talk about him. And he was 2 for 5 with a solo home run. Overall, just a good series for Houston. They have bounced back with a fury after we all declared them dead earlier this year. And I hate to see it, but they're just a machine at this point. Offensively, they're doing this without Jordan. Bregman's having an okay year. Pena's having a good year. You know what you're getting from this team, and they are a great team. They have very few weaknesses, and they have really shown that they are the sneaky team in the American League, which is weird to say as they have been to every LCS since 2017. For Baltimore, I'm going to save my thoughts later, but I have one thing for them that is going to make or break them this postseason. The starting rotation. They had one quality start from their rotation, but you got to come in and beat this powerful Houston lineup. You can't rely on your bullpen. You can't rely on your offense to carry you. So you got to look at, Povich to step up. You got to look at Burns to find his first half form. You got to look at Dean Kramer to do what he did in that start. And you got to look at Suarez to be that Suarez that was dominating a few weeks ago. Because if they're not, it's going to be a rough and short postseason for Baltimore. Now, going to the National League wildcard race, I swear to God, I'm going to stop talking about this team at some point. They're just too fascinating, and they're playing a lot of great series right now against teams that they need to beat. And this one is another 4-game series. This one is against the New York Mets. In Game 1, the Mets won this one 8-3. The Padres, Dylan Cease, he did everything he could. He went 6 1/3, gave up 9 hits, 3 runs, 2 of them earned, a walk, 7 strikeouts. Overall, great start from Cease. He's really settled in and become arguably the ace of this staff. Great to see from him. Jurickson Profar continues to just be phenomenal this year. 2 for 4, a walk and an RBI. Great game from him. Luis Severino finally found that 2019 form as he went 5 innings pitched, 5 hits, and earned run, 4 walks. Not what you wanted to see. That's why you only went 5. But, 5 strikeouts, great from him. And finally, a man we have not talked about on this podcast, a man who is rivaling Ohtani for the MVP. It's time we talk about Francisco Lindor because he's been going off, and this game showed it why. He was 2 for 4 with a walk, a double, 2 runs scored. He's just been phenomenal in the second half. That bat has really come along, and probably the best hitting stretch we've seen from Lindor since, I want to say, 2016, if not his whole career. On top of that fantastic defense he has at shortstop, it's really going to be a fun MVP race if the two of them keep doing what they're doing. But we'll talk about that more down the line. Pete Alonso's getting going a little bit. He was 3 for 5 with a run scored and an RBI. Overall, he is the heart and soul of this Mets team. As much as we talk about Lindor, he's the captain. He's the leader of this team. Great to see him have a game like this. In Game 2, the Padres hit back like Mike Tyson as they delivered a huge blow against the Mets. They won this 7-0. Joe Musgrove, fantastic start, phenomenal start, dominant, whatever you want to say. It was a great start from him. 7 innings pitched, 1 hit, no earned, no walks, 9 strikeouts. Beautiful stuff from Musgrove. When he's on, he is on, and you saw it in this start. Luis Arias did something very rare. Haley's Comet rare, in fact. He had a home run. He was 3 for 5 with a home run, 2 driven in on this one. He has a lot of contact, barely if any pop in that. So it's nice to see him have power, even though that's not what you're paying him to do. And you're looking at Kyle Higashioka, of all people, as he was 2 for 4, a double, a home run, 3 driven in. When will this Padres devil magic end, man? Kyle Higashioka? He was like a meme on the Yankees of when he had a good game. We don't actually expect him to have a good game, and he called a great one, too. Oh, man. Hate this Padres team. For the Mets, Paul Blackburn just got annihilated in his 2 1/3 innings pitch. Gave up 10 hits, 5 earned, no walks, a singular strikeout. Just bad for him overall. And offensively, the only bright spot is Starling Marte was 1 for 3 with a double. But the Mets, once again, were like the Empire in Star Wars because they struck back. They won this one 7-1. Michael King did not have it. He went 5 innings pitched, 3 hits, 5 runs, only 1 of them earned. Bad defense did not help him out. 3 walks, 7 strikeouts. Gotta pitch around bad defense. I always penalize pitchers for that, but at the end of the day, still a decent start if you look at earned runs. And again, Kyle Higashioka, 2 for 4 on a run scored. Where the hell did this come from? I hate this. The Mets, David Peterson had a Joe Musgrove-esque start because he went 7 1/3, 5 hits, 1 earned, 2 walks, only 2 strikeouts, but really, limited hard contact. Had the Padres hit it right at defenders on the ground. Beautiful start from him. And again, Francisco Lindor, this is the game everyone said this is an MVP race between him and Ohtani, as he was 2 for 5, 2 home runs, 5 driven in, a lot of great defense at shortstop. It's really, this MVP race is going to be a test of what you value. Do you value pure offensive output? Because if so, Ohtani has provided that and then some. Or do you value, a well-rounded game, less flashy offense, but great defense, great base running? It's going to be a fun one to see, and September is going to tell us a lot about what this race is going to be. Pete Alonso, he only had a double and a run driven in, but 1 for 4, doing what he needs to do and driving in runs, always going to play. And in the finale, the Padres, the devil magic was at work for them as they won this 3-2 in a close one. Martin Perez, he did not have it. He only went 3 2/3, 4 hits, an earned run, 3 walks, 1 strikeout. He has been okay at best. Let's say since being acquired, you were really hoping that the coaching staff could fix him. They fixed him, but I think this is about his ceiling at this point. You're not going to get that Perez in Texas, which is really unfortunate for them. But if he just eats innings, it'll be fine. The big 3 for the Padres in the bullpen, they went 3 innings pitched, 1 hit, an earned run, 4 strikeouts. That's what you're paying them to do. Great to see it. And Jurickson Profar was 2 for 4 with a game-tying 2-run home run. And, of course, Jackson Merrill, after messing up on the base pass in the 8th, went ahead and hit the walk-off home run in the 9th. Like I said, Padres Devil Magic is at work, and it is stronger than Cardinals Devil Magic at this point. For the Mets, Jose Quintana had a great start. 6 1/3 innings pitched, 4 hits, no earned, 2 walks, no strikeouts. Great start from him. Again, doing what Peterson did the night before. Let your defense work behind you. Trust his defense. Mets have a great one. Matt Vientos, 2 for 4 with a home run, and same thing, JD Martinez, 2 for 4 with a home run. Overall, I've really slept on this Mets team. I'm going to stop doing it. I thought they should have sold, but they're playing great team baseball. No part really stands out. Offense is good, not great. Rotation's good, not great. Edwin Diaz has really looked lost, even though I didn't talk about him in this series. He's just been bad since coming back from his injury. There's no sugarcoating it whatsoever. He walked the bases loaded against Arizona last night and then gave up the grand slam to Corbin Carroll. Something's going on with him. They got to fix that bullpen. But overall, they have a lot of great pieces. They play a lot of great team baseball, and they're not a team you don't want to face in October because they'll be one of those that sneak up and get you. And as for the Padres, they're just clutch beyond belief, man. We talk about this in the past 3 episodes. There's always a game where they tie it in the 8th, win it in the 9th. Tie it in the 8th, win it in the 9th. What's scary too is that rotation is finally coming along. You saw that Musgrove had a really good start. Dylan Cease had a really good start. Overall, this is a terrifying team, and they are the talk of the league for sure. But their NL West rivals had a potential World Series preview this week against Baltimore. In Game 1, the Orioles just won a squeaker. They won this one 4-3. They won that one 3-2. Jack Flaherty did all that he could. He went 6 innings pitched, 6 hits, 3 earned, 2 walks, 5 strikeouts. He has a problem with the long ball, but a quality start is what he needs, especially with how taxed the Dodgers bullpen has been, especially because, we're using arms like Vesia, Kopech, Phillips a lot, Kelly too. They need rest. So eating 6 is exactly what you want to see. Offensively, not much really happened for the team. Shohei Ohtani, 2 for 4, 2 singles, a run scored. Good game, not great game. But what are you going to do? Cole Irvin, he only went 4 in the 3rd innings pitched, 5 hits, 2 earned, 2 walks, 3 strikeouts. Not what you want to see from Irvin. Like I said, you need quality starts from your rotation against the good teams. Didn't happen this one from Irvin. And my player to watch for Baltimore, I hate that I picked this player because he's really had a lot of great hits in the series thus far. Ramon Urias, 1 for 3, a walk, and the go-ahead 2-run home run. I hate everything. But in Game 2, it was Shohei Ohtani bobblehead night, and the fans were out in force for this one. They got to see Walker Buehler pitch. He went 4 2/3, 5 hits, 4 runs, 2 of them earned, a walk, 4 strikeouts. The line really doesn't do it justice. There was a lot of bad defense behind him, from that bad throw from Max Muncy, from Kike Hernandez not being able to pick a difficult ball, but a ball that every first baseman in the league picks, quite frankly, to Will Smith forgetting the rule on a dropped 3rd strike. Everything was just bad behind Buehler. He looked good for the first 2 innings. Once his confidence was shot, it was over. Tough one overall. Shohei Ohtani, he did it for decoy. He was 2 for 4, scored 3 runs, and had that leadoff home run that sent the stadium into an absolute frenzy. Teoscar Hernandez, not to be outdone, hit a 3-run home run himself that ultimately provided enough cushion for the Dodgers to win. Offensively, Corbin Burns, again, you need a quality start. I penalize you a lot for not coming through if your defense fails. 5 innings pitched, 5 hits, 6 runs, but only one of them was earned because Urias booted a ball at 3rd. Gunnar Henderson, of all people, booted a ball at short. His defense was just bad, but he just couldn't pitch around those jams, unfortunately. And again, Ramon Urias, 2 for 4, a double, 2 runs driven in. But overall, the finale is tonight, but the takeaways are this. Both teams look good, not great. Both are kind of on fraud watch a lot of it. I told you guys that I don't believe in this rotation. They really have to get going for Baltimore in order to do something in the playoffs. And you had 2 of your better pitchers going in this series against a very potent Dodgers lineup. One without Freddie Freeman, mind you, for both of these games. No pitcher touched the 6th inning. You have to be better than this because you're going to face a tougher Yankees lineup. You're going to face a tough Houston lineup. You're going to face a tough tough Kansas City lineup. You have to do something here. And if you can't get through any of these lineups, you're not going to go far in October. It's been proven. As for the Dodgers, Game 1, it really showed some of the flaws. Like, your pitching did all that it could, but offensively, you could not score. You could not drive anyone in with runners in scoring position. So, what are you really going to do? Like, are you going to really rely on Ohtani to carry you? Is the offense going to fall apart if your best runner in scoring position man is out for 2 games? Overall, both teams are great. They're World Series favorites for a reason, but you can see the flaws in this series, and this is going to be one of those. Hopefully that's the World Series preview. If not, you know what's going on. But speaking of the Dodgers and Ohtani, Shohei Ohtani on Friday night, in as dramatic fashion as you can get, went 40-40. Going into the game, he was on 39 stolen bases, 39 home runs. And of course, he stole his 40th base relatively early in the game. So now everyone's waiting for the 40th home run. Crowd was into it the whole time. And of course, he comes up in the 9th inning, game tied, bases loaded. What does he do? He hits a walk-off grand slam to go 40-40. An incredible moment overall. And because he's Shohei Ohtani, he has to do it in historic fashion, as he did it in 126 games. The previous fastest before that was Alfonso Soriano at 147 games. He did it 14% faster than Soriano. And this guy pitches too. It really is the fact that Ohtani does so much historic stuff on a day-to-day basis that you really kind of take it for granted. Even at his bobblehead night, he had the leadoff home run. He stole 2 bases, and you're like, cool, it's just casual. It's Ohtani. He's phenomenal. Go see him. Whatever words you want to put to describe him, it's great. Now, for our other piece of news, the AL Central race, it looked like Cleveland's to lose. They were the best team in baseball for the longest time. They had a 9-game lead. Well, on Monday, that game lead went to 0 because Kansas City tied them in their series. Currently, the standings look like this. The Guardians are 76-58. They hold the division lead ever so slightly over Kansas City. They have a 3.83 team ERA, which is 10th in baseball. 28 quality starts, which is what I'm using to look at their rotation, which is 28th in baseball. Not great. They're really carried by that bullpen, is particularly in the ninth. Emmanuel Clase, if it wasn't for Tariq Skubal, legitimately could win a Cy Young this year. He's been that dominant out of the bullpen. They have a 700 team OPS, which is 19th in the league. 600 run scored, which is 12th. Behind them is Kansas City. They are now 1 game back. They have stormed back with a vengeance, and they are looking to do it. They have a 3.85 team ERA, which is 11th in the league. However, they're really carried by that rotation. 65 quality starts, which is 3rd in all of baseball. Their 739 team OPS puts them just inside the top 10. 649 runs scored has them inside the top 5. For the Twins, they are 72-61. They sit 3.5 games back. And they are perhaps the most well-rounded team in this division. A 4.11 team ERA is not great, puts them about 17th in the league. But, 54 quality starts puts them 9th. 752 team OPS puts them 6th, and 645 runs scored has them 8th. So overall, this division race is tight. Every team has their flaws. It's really, who do you think can overcome them? Can Cleveland overcome a bad rotation, a decent offense? If you look only at Naylor, Kwan, and Ramirez, a little bit David Fry, but overall, the rest of that offense is not great, and it's kind of causing their downfall at this point. For the Royals, the bullpen is not really good, and again, you're really being carried by Salvi and a phenomenal season from Bobby Witt Jr. And then Pasquantino is okay. Maikel Franco's okay. Not a really deep lineup. A lot less depth in that one than there is in Cleveland. The Twins, they have a great, well-rounded lineup. They have a lot of good names that don't get talked about in that rotation. Your Bailey Obers, your Joe Ryans. But, how do you get the ball to Johan Duran in the ninth? How do you really manage that bullpen? It remains to be seen. Overall, it's a fantastic race, and I'm going to stick with my call that I had in the middle of the year and the midseason predictions. I still think it's Kansas City's to lose. They have a really good starting rotation. They have arguably the best player in the American League. We can go back and forth about him and Aaron Judge, but he just provides so much defense, so much more of a well-rounded game, as opposed to Judge's singular sledgehammer of God that he wields at the plate. On top of that, they have a little bit more lineup depth. They're capable of just going off on random nights. So let's just see where this goes. I think Kansas City takes it, but we'll see. Which brings us to the series to watch, which a lot of great ones. It's easily Cleveland and Kansas City. They face off again. They play in the middle of the week, so I'm not going to do what I usually do and give you the starting pitching rotations, because if you paid attention to the Dodgers-Orioles series, none of them were right. So I'm not going to tell you guys who's pitching. I'm going to tell you who to look out for, and this one is Superstar Watch, because their superstars are phenomenal. Jose Ramirez, in his past 7 games, is hitting .296, .333 on base, .556 slug, good for an .889 OPS. He has a home run, 3 RBIs, 2 walks, 2 stolen bases over that time frame. Again, Jose Ramirez continues to be arguably the most underappreciated player in baseball because he just does this consistently year after year, and no one really brings him up in best player conversations, best third baseman conversations. But he's really keeping this Cleveland offense afloat, and he's doing it all. But Bobby Witt Jr. is doing even more. In his past 7 games, he's hitting 286 with a 375 on base, 679 slugging, good for a 1054 OPS. He has 3 home runs, 3 RBIs, 3 walks, 2 stolen bases. I said there was going to be a shortstop that came after Aaron Judge for the MVP. I just picked the wrong shortstop. Because apparently Bobby Witt Jr. really wanted to win that home run derby, and when he lost it by this much, he came out of the gate with a vengeance. He's been on fire since the All-Star break. And this is kind of a cold stretch for him, believe it or not, since that break. He is all around fantastic. There's a reason why the notoriously stingy Royals organization gave him 12 years, I think like $300 million, because they believe in this guy. This guy brings asses to seats. He is phenomenal, and he is the guy you should watch in this series. But let me know in the comments down below, what series are you watching? Dodgers Diamondbacks looks pretty good if you ask me. Who's your AL MVP? What's your opinion on Judd or Lindor versus Ohtani? Let me know. And as always, if you enjoyed the content, go ahead and leave a like, subscribe to Playbook Sports, and don't forget on the way out, play ball.